this is what we need for this DIY. You see already here I have some wooden blocks from the stacking game. Of course, a lot of people know it by Jenga, and they are such a nice, great wooden blocks to use and to make your DIY from. And of course some rope, and I use a little bit of the thicker rope. What we are going to try to make, because it will be my first time I doing it from such a little small blocks. The last time I did it with some painter steer sticks, but this time I will use this kind of little blocks. We are going to try to make our own farmhouse lantern, so we will see how this will turn out. So you see here I took already a couple of the blocks. What I'm going to do, I want to make a bottom from also from these blocks, and I need a square because I like my lantern to be in a square shape. So I measured out, they were 7 centimeters wide. I don't know if that's with all the blocks you can buy from this game, I don't know, but at least I need 6 on this side, I need 6 on this side to make a nice square. And if you look at it, I already thought to myself, I don't know if it really is a square, but when I measure it up, it is like a square. So, so I will glue this together. So we already have then our bottom of our lantern. So you see, first I did 6 row of 2 on each other. What I'm going to do right now, just do some glue on the total of this side and just glue the first on each other. I'm just laying them down and just squeeze them against each other and remove the glue which is over. This time I use my, I'm sorry, I'm blinding you, I see. I really am sorry. Of course, I'm going to use my glue gun, but of course you can use some wood glue or E6000 or everything you like. I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to try not to blind you. And I do it this way. And just again, squeeze it to each other and make sure that you have a straight line. So you see already, this is already a one piece, and I will do the rest. So you see our little square is finished. But I'm going to try to make some side panels, and of course it's a little bit difficult because the measurements are not totally working with each other. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to do 2 of them together, and 2 over here, 2 over here, and 2 on the top. And then we are going to do in the middle. Of course you don't have to do that. If you like it a little bit more open, it's fine also, but this will be a one panel. So I'm going to glue this together, so it's very easy just to do 2 together. I try not to blind you with my that's one. I'm going to do the top, and we're going to try to do it as easy as we can. And just squeeze it together. And if you are, maybe it's always the best to glue this on top of a plastic placemat, because that's a little bit better than if you glue is working out a little bit on the back side. It's easier to get it off your piece, because if you do it on your table, you are stuck on you're stuck on your table. It's not really a great way. So I'm going to do again 2 on each other this way. It's always, most of the time it's making 2, 2, 2 and 2, and then we are going to glue everything together, and again 2 over here, and I just squeeze it a little bit, and then you can remove it very easily from your placemat. Again 2 to each other and squeezing, and remove it. And what I'm going to do right now, first I'm going to glue this one together. Just do a little glue on here, and just lay it against each other and squeeze it very hard so your glue is making a nice contact with the other one, and I hope then he stays better in place. Then we are going to do some glue on this one. And we are going to lay this one against each other. And again, squeeze it very hard. And remove the glue which is over. Then we are going to glue this one. And on this side. So I did it on this side and on this side, and now I'm going to work in between so we get it, at least we hope it will get in place. So you see, now we have a nice kind of frame. And now we still need to get this little piece inside of here. This will be a little tricky, I think. We will see how this will turn out. Sometimes I think I should have done better. Do this 3 first and then do the top. That would be that would be better. So the next one I will do a little bit different. And I'm just squeezing them in. And just remove it from my table. And this is how the first panel turned out, and I'm going to make 4 of this one. Here you see my 4 panels and my, of course, my bottom. What I'm going to do right now, because I want to have it, I could do it this way, just do the middle panel and just glue this one at the side. I will show it to you a little bit better over here. But I show you a little bit closer also how easy it is just to make your side panel. It's just 2, 2, 2 and 2, and just glue it together and you already have your side panel. I could glue it this way and I glue this one this way. Of course you get an opening over here, but I will work that away with some a little round piece of wood, but that's something for later. But I like it a little bit higher, so what I'm going to do is very easy. I just take 2 blocks, I'm gluing it over here, and of course the same way over here, and then we are going to place our wood panel on top of it, so it gives also a little bit more of structure to your lantern, and a little bit more, yeah, I don't know how you call it, but at least I like it a little bit better than if I do it this way. But if you like it just this way, it's fine also. But I'm going to do 3 on this side and 3 on each side, on this one and on this one. And here you see how he is turning out, and I am so happy already with the result. You see here on the sides, you see the round dowels. At least I call them dowels. I don't know, know how you call them, but at least you know what I mean. And only with some kind of stacking blocks and some a couple of dowels, and of course later on we use some rope. But first I'm going to paint it with some white chalk paint in the white color. At least I'm painting it white. I don't know for sure if I like it or not. We will see if it stays white or not. White or not. We will see. But at least I'm going to try. I was thinking about it to do it in the wax color, but I don't know if I like that or not. So, but we are going to try to do totally in the white color. And here you see already our lantern is already drying a little bit. I think he needs a second coat, but we will see. But for now it looks very nice. Maybe I will distress it a little bit with some furniture wax, so we will see. But what we're going to do right now, we are going to take a little piece of the thicker rope, and I split the ends open. You see already this way, you have it turned around, and I split it open in little pieces. What I'm going to do, because I want to make the ends a little bit nicer, I'm going to do a little glue on top of here. Then I place a little of the smaller rope inside of the glue, And just wait a little second. I show you I hope I do it on camera that you can see it. So I have to wait a little bit. Sorry that it takes a little, but glue has always a little bit time to dry. And what I'm going to do is just going to turn around a couple of times so we get a nice finish to our rope. So squeeze it together and just do a nice turns over, and you see already this is a little bit what I mean. You get a nice row with some turns from some smaller ribbon, and you can make it as wide as you like. I like it this way, and I'm going to cut it off and again glue it with some glue, and also do the other side of your rope too. And be careful with the glue. My hands, I don't feel nothing in my fingers because I have chronic arthritis, if I call it in English, English right. So I don't feel my fingers. So, but be careful. And if you think this is a little bit too long, just cut it off on the way you want it to be. But I am already very happy how he's looking like. I only have to do the other side, but I do it out of camera. You see already our lantern is already finished. What I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to glue with some hot glue. I'm going to glue my little piece of rope on this side, and of course one on the other side, and then we already have our handle for our little lantern. And then I'm going to look for something to put on top on each side, some words. I think I'm going to do home. Here you already see how our handle is turned out, and of course you can do any handle you like. If you like something else better, it's also fine too. I'm going to place the words home on top of the middle of this side and on the other side. So I'm going to use the letters from a little bit like Scrabble. So if you have an old Scrabble book, an old Scrabble game, you just can use the letters and just glue it on top of here. And here you see already the word home on top of our lantern. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to distress it a little bit with some furniture wax. And here you see already how our lantern is turned out. Now I take some furniture wax, of course, just from a homemade brand. It's very cheap, so I always use it for my decor. So I'm going to distress it a little bit. So I'm just taking a little bit of the furniture wax and just take a little piece of kitchen towel and just dab the most of the furniture wax off, and just do it at the sides, a little bit around the corners, just where you think it will need. I will do the whole lantern, and later on we also do a little bit of the black. And here you see already how he looks like with only the furniture wax on top of it, and I am already loving it. Right now I'm just going to do little pieces with my school board paint. I just also again dab it off on a little piece of towel and just do a little pieces over here. So I'm gonna do it, and then I'm going to show you what I mean. I hope at least that you can see it. I hope already you are at the top, and I will do all the rest of it, and then I show you how the finished result will look like. Of course, I decorated also a little bit for you. So here, after this, you see the finished result. And here you see the finished result of our homemade lantern. And you see here I distressed it with a little bit of the black, the brown. And I also did the home letters. I also did a little layer of furniture wax on top of it. What I did next is just put out some greenery out of my stash. I used eucalyptus, lavender, and of course some hydrangeas and some other greenery, but you can use anything you like. And I just took pieces also inside of the little holes. I did all the 8 little holes, and I just pulled it inside of there. And you just make your own little display. And I chose not for a candle, but I chose for some battery operated little lights, but you can use a candle of course, but I loved the little lights and I decorated a little bit this way. This is just an inspiration for you and to see how easy and cheap you can make your own little farmhouse rustic lantern. And for our next DIY, we only need a couple of things. I saw this idea on Pinterest and I had to make it because it looks so nice. So I am going to use some stacking blocks for making a wooden frame, and I printed out some print. If you want to have this print, just let me know. Then I will do it also in our free printables. So just let me know if you want to print also and make one of your own. But of course, the main thing is the little blocks, and of course, try to get it in a thrift store. It's much cheaper than you buy them in somewhere in the store. So this is a little bit of the main thing we need for this DIY. So you see already I have a lot of my blocks already on my table. What I'm going to try to make, I'm going to try to make a frame, a little bit an idea of a shadow box. So only without the glass. I'm going to make a shadow box, an open one. And of course I'm going to glue a couple of the blocks together. Of course you have to be that you have both of them on top of each other, and I make a couple of them and then I show you what we're going to do next. So you see for each side I use three blocks I will make together. So this three and this three, this will be a corner, and also this will be a corner, this will be a corner. So I'm going to glue this on each other. So make 4 corners. Of course remove the extra glue and we do this one, and you see here, and I will make all 4 of them. So you see already I made 4 pieces of 4 little sides, just how you call it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue one on this side. I will glue one on the inside of this one, and this one I will glue on the inside and here on the outside, so you get a nice square and a nice little box. So I did already one for example. So you see already here, this is already one. I will make 2 little shadow boxes. I don't know how you call it, at least a frame I call it. So I will glue this also in each other, and then we are going to put it in some wax. But before we do it in some wax, we are going to make a background in this little box. And here you see already my 2 frames. What we're going to do before we're going to wax it, I take a piece of old cardboard. So just look what you have laying around, and I am going to measure out both of them to give them a background with cardboard. So I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to measure out, and I will cut it out, and then I show you the next step. And you see already I have the cardboard in place, and I cut them on the same measurement, my little boxes, but a little bit smaller. You see here, then I can glue it a little bit easier on top of here. What I'm going to do, because the back side is blue, I'm going to give this a coat of the white chalk paint. And you see already our little back sides are already dried up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take the print with a little bit of the chicken wire, but a little bit thicker, because I like a little bit that the gray is coming through a little bit more. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place my background on top of here, measure it out, cut it out, and I'm going to Mod Podge it on top of here. So you see I made a square also from my print, but I left it a little bit bigger than the actually measurement is, because later on I like it to cut it out a little bit better, because or else maybe you cut it too short, and it's not the greatest thing that you have a too short print on your backside, because you want to keep it in place. And of course I am really bad with the Mod Podge, but I do my best. So I'm going to place my little print on top of here and just make it a little bit warm. And now later when this is totally dried up, I am going to cut the rest off. So I will do also the second one, and then we do the next step. And here you see already our two little background for our little frame. They have to dry a little bit still, but what I did change my mind a little bit, because I want to have in my little frame, I want to have a bird over here and a little nest, and something a little bit decorative to do in here. But when I did two layers, it was much too small for my bird. But of course, if you have smaller birds, it's okay, 2 layers. But I did 1 layer over it again, so I have 3 layers. So in totally, I didn't use 24 blocks, but I used 36. I have to say it right. 3 times 12. So I am going to put this in some furniture wax, and I use always the home brand furniture wax. So make it as cheap as you can. So, and already most of the time you always see it change. I am really loving it to put everything in the furniture. It gives a little bit of the more farmhouse rustic feeling. So I will do both of them in the wax, and then we're going to do the next step. So in the meantime, while my boxes are drying from the furniture wax, I show you the 2 birds I will use. And I will use, these are drifted birds already for a long time ago. I bought them only for 50 cents each, and they already have been in any color. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to paint them in the white chalk paint, and I'm going to try later to give them an old look, a little bit like it's a medal. I don't know if I will succeed or not, but we will see. But you see already he was dark red, and now he will be in the white chalk paint. So I will paint both of them, and then we are going to go further with our shadow boxes. So you see already our little birds are already in the white color. What I'm going to take a black text marker. Of course, I use a permanent marker. And I'm going to do little pieces with the black color, just a little around his wings, just a little bit, that it looks a little bit older than the bird is. Of course, the bird is old because he was drifted, but of course, give it a little bit of an old feeling, and just do it whatever you think is fitting. I always say there's no way to stress it. You can do it any way you like. I always do my pencil a little bit halfway, but not totally straight, but a little bit on the sides, just to give little pieces of the black color. And then you are, most of the time you don't do too much on one place. So I always do, you see already, little pieces. And over here, I hope I do it on camera. You see, now you make little marks from the black. I will finish both of them, and then we're going to do a little bit of the rustic color to look them even more old. So you see already the 2 little birds are already having the black distressing. At least for my taste, it's enough. But of course, if you want to go more distressing, it's totally fine. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of the browner marker, and I'm going to do on each little spaces. I'm going to do also do your pencil again this way. There's not totally straight up, but a little bit sideways, and just go on the same way you did your black, and a little bit over the black, so it gives a little bit more of an older feeling even more. So our birds are finished also, our frames are finished, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to do for the top of our frame, I'm going to make a little pop-up, so it looks a little bit more like a picture frame or something else. I don't know how you call it. I take 2 of the bigger wooden buttons. I do 2 of the smaller buttons which are fitting inside of our thing, and I turn them around the smaller ones, and then I'm going to glue them. Then I'm going to glue a little styrofoam ball on top of it, and then we're going to do, you also have a game we call here in the Netherlands Mens erg je niet, and I'm going to use the wooden one, and I'm going to place them on top of here. so we get a nice little top for our little frames. I will glue this together and then I show you exactly what I mean. So here you see the frames I was talking about, and of course I'm going to glue this on top of the here later, because first I have to make sure that they are in the black color, and then I'm going to do the back side of our frame, and then we're going to glue this on top of here. But first what we're going to do is make them black. So now we are going to take our frames, we're going to lay them on their front. So this is the back side. You can see also I did it not with some furniture bags, or else my glue wouldn't stick. So I'm going to lay them down. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my back sides, they are dried up right now, and we are going to glue them on top of the back side. And I'm going to do this with some Mod Podge. And I'm just using this brand, but you can make Mod Podge from anything. There are so many people who can make their own Mod Podge, but I always use this one. And I'm going to do this side in the Mod Podge, wait a little moment, and then I'm going to glue this up, squeeze this on top of here, and just keep it in place for a little while, and until your Mod Podge is dried up, and then you have your own. You see already a nice back side for your frame. This is a little bit better, so now you can see it a little bit better. And I think they are looking very nice with the gray and the thing. And if you imagine that you will be having a black top over here, then we're going to decorate them. And here you see how our little frames turned out, and I am so happy with the inside, because I love the gray and a little bit of the white. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to place the little tops over here, and I show you a little bit closer so you can see a little bit how it will turn. Of course, I have to do it in the middle, so I will glue this on top of here, and then we're going to decorate the inside. And I keep it a little bit easy, but of course you can go all the way with the inside, but I'm just going to keep it a little bit simple. You see here, I replaced my camera a little bit because I wanted to show you a little bit how I decorate the inside from one of the little boxes. And of course, I took some greenery out of my stash. I use a little bit of this greenery. It's also our little picks from IKEA. It was a plant, and I took everything apart so I can use it as little inside pieces. Of course, I use a couple of the lavender, and of course I pull everything out, and you can do it in any color you like. If you like a little bit more of the yellow color, it's also fine. Just do whatever you think is right. I use 4 of these little branches. You can find also some wooden branches outside from the trees. So go ahead and go look for it. This one is for me is already very old. So I use 4 of them, 2 for each box. And of course I am using 4 little pieces of our eucalyptus branch, and these are also from IKEA, and I always cut them apart so you have lots of more fun with it than if you use one branch. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to place my little bird inside and a little bit this way, and I will glue this on his place. So you see already our little bird is already inside of our little frame. What I'm going to do, I just took some branches. It also has a little, I don't know how you call it, a loop, if at least not totally straight, but has a little opening over here. So I'm going to glue 2 of them this way on the sides of our frame. So it gives a little bit more structure. So I'm going to do 2 of them. I will glue here a little bit sideways, this one this way, and this one a little bit sideways too. So I show you that now. So you see already I did the branches on the side of our frame. Of course I have to put away a little bit of the glue wires. What I'm going to do right now, and it gives already a nice little rustic touch. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place the little leaves from our eucalyptus, and I try to turn it around a little bit so we have a nice 4-piece with each other, but most of the time they are a little bit turned around this way. So but if you are a little bit careful, you can turn them, and then you have a nice 4-piece to put over here. So I'm going to glue this inside of here on both ways, one over here and one over here. you see already, this is again the finished. We did one over here. I just did some little bit glue on the end and just squeeze it inside. It doesn't matter the way you think it's right. That's the best way, because I can tell you where you want to place it, because everyone is different in their mind. So I did it sideways this way. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take a little piece of the lavender and I'm going to cut off a little piece, and I'm going to do 1 and 2 this way, and I'm going to do 1 and 2 this way along this side. So you see already fall already down, so you have to glue them. So you see, but it is so easy just to make a nice little display. So I will glue this together, and here you see already how the lavender is looking like when you glue it inside. What I'm going to do, I take one of those little pieces I ripped off from a little plant from IKEA. I just cut off a little piece, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue 2 pieces on top of each other, but of course a little bit sideways, so you get a nice little change of structure, or else they will be very straight to each other. So this is what I mean. Just make 2 little pieces and just also do some glue on it and just squeeze them over here and squeeze them over here. So you see already how much your little display turns. I love this kind of greenery because it pops up a little bit more and it comes a little bit more to life. So I will glue this also together. And here you see our little shadow box, or just frame, just how you call it. I think for me it is more than enough greenery inside of here. But you can do, if you want to decorate the upside, if you want to do some lettering inside of here, you can also do that. But I leave it a little bit simple. I show you in a moment the end result. And here you see the finished result of our 2 shadow boxes. At least I call them shadow boxes. Let me know in the comments how they are called in English, because I think they are called shadow boxes, but maybe I'm totally wrong. I don't know. So let me know. But I think they turned out so nice. Especially I love the birds, how they turned out. So I will give them a place in my boxes on my wall. So I am really happy with the end result. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and I just hope you enjoyed it so much to make 2 for yourself with the tumbling blocks, and how you saw how easy it was to make 2 for yourself. So I hope you just enjoyed.
I'm going to make something out of the well-known Jenga blocks, those wooden game tumble blocks. This is a package that I got from a Christmas hamper, and I totally forgot that I had it, so that was quite a surprise. First open it up, and of course I just cut my nails, so this is a very annoying sticker to open up. There we go. Let's see what is inside, because I have the idea that it's a black one and a blank wooden one. Yeah, I think that is correct. With the dice. Now, of course, I'm going to use the black ones for later use. Let me grab myself scissors. That will be easier. And you can make the most amazing things out of this stuff. Jenny uses it also. She ordered hers from, I believe it was Amazon. And you get blocks like this, where you can perfectly craft with. I'm going to get it there, because I want to make something for the spring or summer season. You can use both, and that will be, how large is this? 5 centimeters, 2.5. Yeah, that is actually not as long as I thought it would be, because I want to make some sort of card idea, and I think this is better, gluing them together like this. And then again here and there, and that will be number 1 section on the only one side of the card. And then we move over to the other section, well, maybe on the bottom it is also a good idea to use some tumbling blocks there. Yeah, I think this looks cuter. Also easier to glue. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I have the glue gun here already, and it is super easy to do so. You just start gluing the blocks one by one. Oops, this is a bit too much of glue. Then we need to wipe away the excess part. And to press it gently. Hold it for a few seconds because this glue doesn't cool down, at least in my opinion, doesn't cool down that easy. And I hope I can gently cut away, or you just use a small knife for that. So there will be the excess glue. Now it is done. I'm going to continue and glue myself a complete card. This is the one side of the card. I'm going to make an identical one on the other side. Okay, here we go again. Two side parts are done. There we are. Only need to make a connection here in between. And we're going to do it by, oops, this, or maybe just use several blocks this way, because then you get a better size, I think. Maybe 4 is the ideal trick, or just 3. Hard to say. Let me check it out. I see it from a distance. Yeah, 4 is, I think, just too big. Oops. Ooh, there goes everything. That's because I put the heater, my blow dryer, upon this covering mat, so not everything is completely straight anymore, as you can see. Yeah, I think I'm going to press 3 blocks together with the glue, and then I'm going to glue them in between here. Next step, this is the front, this is the back, and these are the side parts. It's gluing everything together just like so. So they become one big piece. I think I'm going to do that on this part because this here is the flattest part of everywhere. Whoops, I pressed a little bit too hard and this one fell off, so to re-glue that. Sorry, card. Here I have the base of the card. Now I need the bottom of the card. I think I'm going to use some cardboard for that. And I also need some wheels, and therefore I have these wooden slices here that are from AliExpress. Jenny always orders them in large numbers, so yeah, she lent me these to craft with, so I'm glad for that. Thanks, Jenny. I'm going to find myself a piece of cardboard that is suitable for getting it on this side. And yeah, maybe it's better that I first start gluing everything. Or painting everything. I think that's a better idea. We have the bottom of a cardboard part from a box where there was some milk in. Now just draw around the silhouette with the pencil. And I know that I can cut inside there. Put it upside down. And I'm going to pour some glue upon the blocks. Time to paint the card. Therefore, I use this brown acrylic paint and a small brush. Now the card is almost dry, but of course it also needs some wheels. So therefore I have, of course, the wooden slices and some blackboard paint, also from Action. Almost everything you see here comes from Action, only not the blocks and not the wooden slices. The brushes are from Action, really everything is from Action. Time to assemble the cart. I'm going to turn it over, and yeah, I think doing this is the best way. Okay, the cart is assembled. Looks like a cute market fence. Now I have some lemons here and some greenery and some more greenery. These were from a garden center, and really these things are more than 20 years old or something. Yeah, they were on sale. Sorry for the noise. Very annoying plastic. Well, now we have our lemons. I think it's cute to put some greenery in there. Here and there, not too much. I'm going to add some here and there. I really don't know what looks cutest, so I have to try that out. I think this looks very festive, or festive, spring, summery. Together with this, or more diverse color. There we go. I think now I have a really cute cart already. Super sweet. As you can see, this DIY is pretty simple to make. Here I also put some greenery for finishing a realistic touch. And also there, in between of the lemons, is some more greenery. Now let us know in the comment section what you think of this cute DIY.
Here you see what we will use for our next DIY, and it will be a wooden DIY, and we are going to try to make some tier tray, a 2-tier tray, and of course you need some wood, and I found this wood with IKEA. There was a box, and you can find there free wood for nothing, so you can, of course it's free, that's why it's called free, so you can get there your pieces of wood. And we got this tip from Sandrina Paul, so thank you so much, Sandrina, for telling us that IKEA has this kind of boxes for free wood. Of course, we also need a couple of the tumbling blocks, and I did 2 packages, but I don't think I totally need it. And we need an old candle holder. So if you have this laying around in your stash, then you have your whole DIY for free. And what we're going to do right now, we are going to go outside, and we're going to make 2 rounds out of this free wood. So you see already, these are how the rounds are turned out. One a little bit bigger, one a little bit smaller. And I am going to try to make a tier tray, but not a big one, because I want to have it in my kitchen, and I want to have it a little bit smaller. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to take my candle holder, and of course I can do my candle holder this way on top of it, but then you see I have a less space to put things in. So I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to do this upside down on the first layer of our tier tray, and the second layer we're going to do above, but that is the underside of the second layer, so that doesn't bother you. So now I have the most of the space used I can decorate with. So I'm going to measure this out so everything will be in the middle. So you see here already I have my little measurement on my little wooden slices, and what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take my second glue and I'm going to glue my candle holder on top of here. So I am going to lay some glue over the lines, because I want to make sure that my candle holder is sticking. So I am going to do some glue exactly over the lines and make sure that I have every piece of the wood. So I let it dry for a little while, and then I'm going to place, of course this way, I'm going to place my little candle holder inside. And of course, I always say wear gloves, because second glue, you are glued to your piece, and that's not the way you what you want it to be. So always use your gloves. In the meantime, while my first piece of my tier tray is drying, because always, even when it is second glue, I still let it dry for at least an hour. I know it sounds crazy if you use second glue, but I always want to make sure that everything is gluing great together. So I'm going to take some tumbling blocks before I am gluing my second tier tray on top of it. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to glue my tumbling blocks in one line against my little round, so you get a nice little basket. So this will be, I will go totally in the round, and then you have a nice basket for on top of your tier tray. And of course I also will do the underside of our tier tray, but first I'm going to glue this one. So you see, I take my glue gun, I just do a little piece of glue over here and just squeeze it against your little round, and so you go on and do the second one and just lay it next to each other, and so we go on and on until we have the whole round completed. And I won't bore you with that, because for some people this takes much too long. So I am going to squeeze this against each other, and so we get finally when everything is completed, we have a nice basket. I show you when I'm halfway, I show you already where I am. And you see already my round is almost done, but a lot of you who are already looking for what are you doing, a lot of people already seen what I did wrong. You see here I have my round in the middle, so I did forget to turn around my slice and just glue it together. So because now I have to do on the underside, I still have to do another round, so I can glue it on top of there, because this will be the underside. So now I'm going to finish this off, and then we're going to do a new round under here. So you see already my little basket is finished, and I have also another round on the underside. So I can already have my measurement for gluing the candle holder on top of here. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do also make my tumbling blocks around this underside. So I am going to glue this together, and then I show you. And here you see already my second basket is also finished. I have to tell you, of course, my honest opinion. I don't know if I really like the tumbling blocks around it, because you don't get a nice straight line like you would. So, but maybe when I paint it, I will think different about it, but I don't know yet. So I'm going to glue the second basket on top of our candle holder. So I'm going to do, I have him now upside down, and of course what we need on the underside, we need some little feet for that he, when I turn him around, he can stand on it. So I'm going to do 4 of this one on top of here. I know it's a little bit close and the tear tray is a little bit in your face, but what, or else I can't show you. So I'm going to do 4 of those little feet on top of here. So I'm also going to glue this one with some glue. So now our little stands are glued on top of on the bottom of our little cake stand, of our tea tray. I don't know why I keep saying cake stand, but, but it is a very small little 2-tier tray. So I'm going to let this dry for a moment because I want to have on my tea tray, I want to have 2 little signs. I order always this one on AliExpress and they are so cheap, 6 for I think a couple of euros, and they are made from such a nice wood. So it's a great quality for the price you pay. I'm going to give him with some furniture wax. You see here I only use the Home made brand, so it is very cheap. It's probably Dollar Tree has also his own brand, so use that. And I'm going to give them some furniture wax to give it a little bit of the rustic feeling. So I will do both of them and then I show you which sign I made on my computer. And of course you can find them also in the free printables. So if you want to use them for your own signs, go ahead and take the 2 up for yourself, and you find there lots of more free prints. So go ahead and look for it. The link is always in our description box. So I will do this 2 of them in the furniture wax. So you see already I have both of them in the furniture wax and they look already very rustic. But what I'm going to do right now, here you see already the little 2 signs I made. I know you see it a little bit backwards because you see it in an opposite direction, but of course later on, like I always say, you see the right way. And I'm going to cut both of them out and then I'm going to Mod Podge them inside of here. You see already I did cut out the little pictures and now I'm going to take a little bit of the Mod Podge, but I think already you know how to Mod Podge your little picture inside of a little frame. So I'm just going to do 1 and then I do the rest out of camera. And of course I really love making my own pictures. I always love having signs in my house. I don't know if I am the only one. Leave me a comment down below if you like signs as much as I do, because I always think it gives such a nice feeling to your home with a nice sign. We are going to place it inside and work a little bit with it, and I try to keep it. You see already this is already 1 of the signs. I'll do the second one also. And you see our little tea tray, it did dry up. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start painting everything in the black chalkboard paint, of schoolboard paint, just how you call it. And I will start with the bottom and then we're going to work our way up. So I am going to do this with out of camera, because or else, like I always say, you will be very bored. So I will finish this one and then I show you the result, how it's turned out. And here you see already how our 2-tier tray turned out, and I am so happy with the end result. Of course, our 2 little sign we will use for inside of this tray. I will decorate it for you and then you see the end result. And of course, if you like to see in the future videos you want to see how I decorate our tea trays, just let me know in the comments. But I don't know if you like to see it or not, but I will decorate it very simple, but I show you that in a moment with the result. I just show you a little sneak peek in between what I did already. I did 3 pieces of decor inside of each stage of our tier tray. I did here the 2 birds, I did a sign and 2 little wreath. And on the top I did a sign and I did a little birdhouse and I did 2 of the wooden pieces and I did some greenery in between. Now I only want to finish it off with some fern from IKEA. I cut them in pieces because this is 1 plant and I always cut my plants in pieces. I don't know why I do this, but it's a lot cheaper than buying lots of branches. So this is already a sneak peek how it will turn out. So like I said, let me know if you want to see more decorating like this. And here you see the finished result of our homemade two-tier tray, and I am so happy how he turned out. And if you imagine, this is made from some found free wood from IKEA and some tumbling blocks. So I hope you got a little bit inspiration from it to make one of your own. It is so easy to do, and I did it in the black color, but of course you can do it in any color you like. I show you in a moment a little bit closer how I decorated it, but I am very happy with the end result, and I just hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in our next DIY. For today's DIY, we are going to use the stack blocks of tumbling blocks, just how you call it. You buy them in a package most of the time from 54, 60 pieces, and they are nice little wooden blocks, and we are going to try to make some planters from it. So I did already a lantern a couple of videos back, so if you want to see that, I will place a link down below so you can see also how you can make a lantern from these tumbling blocks. And of course, right now, like I said, we are going to make some planters from it. Here you see already I have laid down a couple of the blocks. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make little squares from 3 blocks each time. So I'm just going to do on one side, I'm going to do some glue for my glue gun, and of course just glue 3 of them together, and just make sure that you have them in a straight line, or else you can have trouble later on placing it. So you see, you get nice little squares like this, and I'm going to make 4 of them. And of course, if it takes a little bit too long for you, just move forward, and of course some glue on this side. I'm trying to do it as fast as I can, so you don't have to wait too long. This is 2, and then I show you 1 panel, and this is another one. My glue gun is already have a lot of smoke, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he smokes a lot. So we will see how this will turn out. Maybe he gets on fire, you don't know. But I have my glue, it's from the Lidl, so he is wireless, but maybe he has not his day today, so we will see. So you see, now we have 4 little squares. What I'm going to do, I do them in opposite direction. I do one over this way, this one over this way, and this one this way. So you get, I show you, I hope, a little bit better. So this is what you're going to get. So I'm going to glue this side to each other and just squeeze them a little bit against each other. Of course, we are going to glue this side, and we are going to place it against each other. And now we are going to glue this side and this side. You see already a lot of smoke from my glue gun, but we hope the best. And of course, squeeze it together. And just make sure that it is dry. And you see, this is what I mean. We are going to make 4 of these panels. So I will make 4 of them, and then we're going to get them together, because this one, it takes 12 little blocks for each panel, and you need 4, that's 48. And for the bottom we need, I think, also 12, so you need, in totally you need 60 blocks. So if you find some of the tumbling blocks in your thrift store, that would be great, so you don't have to pay a lot of money for it. So I will do the other panels, and then we're going to get it together. And here you see already our 4 panels, and I glued them together, so one against each other, this one this way, and this one over it, and this one again against each other, so you get a nice square. What I'm going to do with 12 other blocks, I am going to make a little bottom for our little container. And you see already I made already one of the containers, so I have already two. And this is what I mean, I did already some felt under it, but this is what I mean. I'm going to glue two against each other and then I make a little bottom. But I show you. So what I'm going to do is just glue two of the blocks against each other, but now on the tops of the blocks, so not the sides but the tops. And you see already this is what I mean. And just remove the rest of the glue. You get two sets of two, and I'm going to do 12 of them, so you get 6 of each, and that will be our bottom. I hope I make sense, but I think it's very easy to make. And you see again against each other, squeeze and remove. I will finish this one and then we're going to do the next step. So you see we have our 6 sets of 2, and what I'm going to do, we're just going to make a bottom and just glue them together. Just squeeze them against each other. You see, this is what I mean. And now we're going to do all of them. And one line of glue over here and just glue it together. Make sure that you have the line in the middle. And again, another row of glue. Row of glue. Another row of glue. Oh, this is English for beginners. You see, now we're going to do the next one. And again, squeeze it together. And the last one. And squeeze it together again. And now you see you get a nice bottom for on top of your, for the underside of your little container. So here we do have our container. Here is our little bottom. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do around the little line around our bottom, and just a little line over here. I hope I do it on camera so you can see what I do, but I think you already know how to glue the bottom on top of your container, or just how you call it. I have to look a little bit that I have it in the middle, and just squeeze it a little bit. And you see already, now you have your own little container or planter, just how you call it, and just squeeze a little bit until it's dry. You see already, here we have our two simple, so simple, easy made plant containers, or just planters, just how you call it, you name it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a piece of the white chalk paint. I think I do a couple of layers because I want it to have totally white, and then maybe I will distress it, or I just leave it. But if I leave it, you can also distress it if you like a little bit more of the distressed feeling. So I'm going to paint this in the white color. So you see already I painted one of them, and you see already how he is changing only when you give him a little bit of color. Of course, you also can, I thought later, you can do them in some furniture wax, and if you like a little bit more of the rustic style. I always love rustic style, so this time I did it in the white color, but maybe I make two more, and then I'm going to do them in some furniture wax, and I'm going to give them the rustic color. But I'm going to paint this one also again still in the white, so I have two in the white color. So you see already I have both of them painted two coats of the white chalk paint. I saw my little wooden blocks still laying around, and I saw my top of my little planter, and I don't like the finishing touch around here. So I was thinking maybe I can make a little edge around it so I can give it a little bit more of an high-end look. So I am going to try to get a couple of these blocks on top of here and just make a nice edge around our little planter. And you see here, this is a little bit the edge I am going to, the look I am going for. So I think it gives a little bit more of a high-end look. We are going to do this in with some furniture wax, so give it a little bit more of the rustic feeling. Of course, I will do also our second container or planter, just how you call it. And I will finish this off. So here you see, we did the edge on top of here. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm just taking my simple furniture wax. You see here, this is just a home brand, so just take whatever you think you can use for staining your little edge. And of course I will do it with my furniture wax, and I am always loving the rustic color, so I will do both of them and then I show you the next step. And here you see how both of them turned out, and I distressed a little bit the sides with some furniture wax, just only a little. If you want to do more distressing, just go ahead. I just did only the sides. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make the word home on the sides of my little planter, and of course on both of them. But if you don't want to have words on it, just don't do it. I like a little word on top of it, but you also can do any word you like. I always buy a little bag with some wooden letters. So I am going to do the word home, and I will glue them with my glue gun on top of here. And here you see already a little bit how the word is turned out. And like I said, I chose for the word home. And I know you see it in the opposite direction right now. But later on, when we are seeing the result, you will see it in the right way. What I'm going to do, I'm also going to do this one with the word home. And then I show you 2 ways how you can decorate your little planter. So you see, now we're going to do the first planter with some berries. And I have the berries in every color because I order them always on AliExpress and they are so cheap. I think for one of those picks, I think I only pay 60 cents if I'm correct, maybe even less. So I bought a lot of them. So I am going to put them on the sides, 4 pieces on this side. And of course, it's so easy to make your own little display. Of course, you can put a piece of oasis or styrofoam inside first if you like that a little bit better. But later on, you will see it will keep in place. Only the start, we have to work a little bit with it. And always when my camera is running, it's always doing this. So this way, and keep another one this way. You see already you get a nice little wild display. Now we do a couple of the greener ones inside, and I like a little bit more very neutral piece. But of course, if you like it a little bit more more flowers, more branches, just do whatever you think is right. I have here 1 piece of from IKEA, from a planter, a fern, and I'm going to cut them off. So I get 3 pieces, and I pay for 1 little plant. I always pay $4.99. This is the plant in totally, and you see already I pull everything out, so you get nice pieces of your fern. And I'm going to do them on the sides, just work a little bit with it and put them on the sides under your little display, so it gives a little bit more of the greenery. And I'm going to do this one, and again you have 3 new pieces, and so you have a lot of pieces for only a less of your money. I always love keeping things on a budget, and just do also a little bit of the ferns inside in the middle of your display. You see already, this is a little bit how we will turn out, and it is so easy to make. And what I'm going to do with my second one, with my second planter, I am going to do, you can do this fern inside of it, of this one from IKEA. I bought this one, I think he was only $2.99, and a couple of them I also took apart, so you have a lot of greenery pieces just to stick when you are making wreaths or something else. You can easily make some crazy little pigs coming out, and I love this one. So but I still, this one haven't taken, I can push it through. I can do this one, but of course I also can do the fern if I like this one a little bit better, and just fold it a little bit like this, and then you have a nice blend. Of course I have to squeeze it through, but I show you that in the end result. And here you see the little planters we made from some tumbling blocks, and like I said, you only need 60 for one of those planters. And this one I did a little bit more in the farmhouse style with the green fern from IKEA. He was $4.99. And this, if you find this, the tumbling blocks in your thrift store, just take them with you and you can easily make your own farmhouse decor. This one I did a little bit in the spring feeling with some lemons, some yellow berries, some fern, and a couple of the green berries. And you see it also gives a little bit of the springy feeling. Of course, you don't have to do it like I did. Just make one of your own and you will see it is so nice looking in your decor. So I just hope you had fun watching, and I just hope you got a little bit inspiration from it.
Today I want to make something with, how else can it be, tumbling blocks. This was actually a box that came from a Christmas hamper that I got from my work. And I think you can be very creative with this sorts of stuff. Jenny uses it a lot as well. And the fun thing for this box is that it contains, oops, white and black blocks. Well, I mainly use some white ones for another DIY, so that's the reason why I mostly have black ones right now. But that shouldn't be a problem because we are going to paint them. I think I can make something farmhousey out of this together with the glue gun that we are using. Jenny has the same one, and maybe some letters. I have letter box like, oops, it's falling over already. Letters like this, or maybe something more like this. There are wooden letters here underneath. Most of the times I put multiple of these packs into one IKEA storage bag. So let's warm up the glue gun and see how we create something new out of this. Something we're also going to need for this DIY is twine. I have a big pack here. Very easy. I just made a hole in the top part and now everything comes rolling out instantly. So that's really easy. I'm going to put that aside because we don't need it right now. First, tumbling blocks and gluing together, or gluing them together. Okay, the idea is that I take 3 here and 2 upon each other stacked like this, and then 3 others in the back or on the bottom again, and then I'm going to glue it together like this, and I'm going to do that in 3 multiple sections. But before we're starting the glue, I think it is better that I paint everything first. I think I'm going to do that white and maybe a little bit of distressing, but first everything needs a white color because I can't work with 2 colors. And yeah, black is, yeah, you can make it black, you can make it also in blank wood, but I don't have enough blank wood parts to do it like that. Otherwise I would have used beeswax upon it. That gives a really nice antique look, but that is impossible right now. So let me grab my white paint and a brush and we can start painting all the blocks. I'm back with my favorite paint. Jenny has this one as well. It comes from a construction store, which is Hornbach. That's a German construction store, but they have it also here in the neighborhood. Okay, I think the coverage of this stuff is just amazing. Oh, let me show it to you on a blank or a black block. First, let me do the side section because those are the hardest parts. I think I'm only going to need 1 layer for the brick. Look, the coverage is really good. We are half an hour further and all the blocks have been painted. Now they are drying, and I believe it's not a good idea, for me at least, to use a blow dryer because everything would blow away instantly. Then I should have put tape underneath it, but I didn't think about that in the beginning. So we just wait until the paint is dry. All the blocks are painted. It is the next day because I had to wait till it was dry, and to be honest, the black ones needed a layer extra. The blank ones were good immediately. Now what I'm going to do, as I said before, I'm going to glue them together like this, and then 2 on each side downwards or sideways, just as the point at which you're seeing it, and then back again like this. And then you get a frame, and I like to make 3 of the frames each. So I have the glue gun here, also have some extra glue sticks. These ones are actually pretty small. And then I'm just going to glue everything together. I'm sorry if the light of the glue gun disturbs the camera. Sometimes I forget that I work with a glue gun now that has a light, which I did have before. And I also noticed that with this glue gun I have to pull or push actually those blocks together for a few seconds so the glue can cool down. With the other glue gun I didn't have that problem. Or actually it isn't a problem, it's just something you have to be aware of. And now it's stuck to the plate underneath. So just like this. 2 of these, and now 3 together. Okay, I have 3 and 2 of 2. And my glue gun is leaking and smoking at the moment, maybe because there's an air bubble. Now, let me grab those bricks here and here, 2, and quickly, oops, push everything together. And on the other side as well. And there you have your frame. I'm going to continue and make 2 other ones too. Okay, the frames are all ready. Time to start decorating them. Are they? Yes, they are all in the same direction. Now I have burlap here, and I tried a small piece because I wanted to know what it should look like here and if I have the right size. Well, I have. And I'm going to cut some more in the same size. And then I'm going to glue them upon the frames. And I need, I think, a bigger pair of scissors. This one isn't cutting well through the burlap. Now, this might look, yeah, there it goes. Much easier. And the other one, let's see here. Now, already warmed up the glue gun. That is the wrong one. Let me put it right here. This is good. I'm going to glue it to the back side. And hold it for a few seconds. I'm trying to press everything together with the scissors. There we go. Move the other one, or move to the other one. Like that. Oh, it's a little bit too short on that side. Well, on this side it works. But I have to hold it for a few seconds, otherwise it flips back. I'm going to repeat the same steps on the other frames as well. All the frames have burlap now, and I have a letterbox here as well that I want to use to decorate. So I tried how big are the letters, how many do fit in. Well, not that much, as I think it is still beautiful. So I think I'm going to make something like Home Sweet Home or Home at the Farm. That could also be, I think Home at the Farm is a good idea. I think I'm going to make that. Now let me sort out the letters and I'll be back with you in the next shot. Okay, all the letters are out and now I want to color them. So I'm going to use a black marker for that, and I also have a copper brown one for distressing. So I think that is a good idea. Now let me carefully put that letterbox away, because I know myself, and if I keep it there, then there will be letters all over the place really soon. Now let me grab all those letters again. I think I positioned them right so I know that everything fits in. These can go out of the way, and then we can just simply start coloring in these with a marker, and that is really easy peasy. You can also use a water resistant marker, and it's really quick and cheap. These are gloss markers, but actually I never use them for decorating on glass, only for wood or paper, and they dry really quick. And then this is what you get. I think that is perfect. Well, I'm going to color in all the letters, and then we'll be back soon. Next step with you when everything is colored in. All the black letters are here now, and I hope that I could use this bronze marker to distress it a little bit, but I don't know how it will look. So first I'm going to try it on the back side. How will that look? Well, I hope you can see it a little bit like that. Now, I think it will be cute if we can give the front side also a slight touch of that color. All the letters are distressed. Time to start assembling the whole thing together. First I'm going to apply Home and Farm, because FD is a little bit bigger and I want to align everything. Now let's use the glue gun for this job. It isn't completely warmed up, I think. Let's try it again. Sometimes you have to press really hard. Yeah, there it comes. Like I said, sometimes with these glue gun, you have to press pretty hard until you get a little bit of glue out of it. There we go. Yes, perfectly. Sometimes I'll lay down all the letters to see how everything is aligned. Maybe that's a little bit weird for me, but there. And the M is the last one for this side. Now, here it is. The first one with Home. I hope you can see better now how I distressed. It looks a little bit more antique now. I'm going to continue with the other ones, and then I will be back with the complete result. these are done. Now I want to connect them together, and therefore I have twine. Now it is pretty hard for me, to be honest. Is everything? Yeah, everything is right. Okay. I find it pretty hard to do it precisely, so I have this mat here, and I use these big lines here to put them out of each other and see if I have the right measurements, the right distance, which is like this. Now what I'm going to do first, glue from this angle here. This is the start of the twine, all the way there and there and there and there. Pull it really tight and then hopefully press it together with my scissors here. Now let's give it a start. First do the, okay, yeah, you can still see it. First let's do this one here. Quickly just try to press the twine into the glue. But important is that this here should be straight upwards. Oops, don't pull the whole thing. Straight upwards, like this. Now, yeah, the lines are good. Okay, then we continue here. Oh gosh. There sometimes is so much tension on the rope. Now let it cool down a little bit first before I glue this part here as well. There is some twine on the glue gun, okay. And I'm not going to cut the string. Just going to replace everything. Well, let's see here. And then take the one with home. And then we just continue here. The glue has completely cooled down, and now I should be able to pick, yeah, there it is, a complete hanger. Look, and you can hang it up there. It just fits in. Doesn't it look cute? Well, you can leave it this way, but you can also add something more. Maybe I'm going to make bows. I don't know that yet at this moment, but at least I want to have some greenery to decorate it off. Yeah, to cut some branches, I have here eucalyptus. This is a big branch. But you can also get, of course, smaller ones. Now, I have the scissors here because I also have some sort of, yeah, what is it? This stuff, actually. But I need to clip the ends off because those are really weird-looking tips. Where it's actually attached to the bigger branch or to the flower. That looks more natural. I don't think it's a good idea to put it here behind the burlap so that it comes out naturally. Of course I still have to glue it, but I'm just going to arrange everything until I think it is good, and then I'm going to use the glue gun to heat up everything and attach it in the right place. You know, something like this, and then maybe some eucalyptus there as well. Here, and you can do it on the bottom too. Oops. There or here. That is just up to you where you think that looks nice. The greenery is in place and I think it looks super cute. The only thing I find a little bit too white here is this space. So I took myself, or actually Jenny, gave me some ribbon, black and white with stripes. And I think I'm going to cut off 2 separate pieces. Or should I make a bow? Maybe I'm going to make a bow. Okay, take the ribbon between 2 fingers. And then I'm starting at the wrong bottom. Between 2 fingers, wrap around. You know the drill if you follow us for a while. Tuck this back in there. Let your thumb here in the hole, because you need to pull these through the same hole as you have your thumb, and this is really hard because this is super slippery. And then you pull, and then you get a really small, nice bow that you can glue just like that there. Now let me clip it off in the same length. The only thing, this isn't a double side printed one, so I carefully have to twist this one here. Don't pull too hard because then you will ruin your whole bow. Yeah, now the loops are even. And this one here is twisted as well. It isn't super precisely cut yet. Well, let's make a fishtail here. Just fold it in half and then cut. Just like that. And then the other end as well, and then you can just glue the center here, the back where the knot is. Oh, there. Are you ready for the final result? Here you see in the close-up how I distressed, and here is the main view from the project. It is a little bit too long for my camera, but yes, you can really hang this up because it is made out of one single layer of twine. Now you can decorate it as you want it, you can paint it as you want it. That is totally up to you. We hope you had fun. Let us know in the comment section what you think of this DIY.
For this DIY we need some stacking blocks, and I using this because this one was available. They are a little bit hard to get here in the Netherlands, so I hope you have them with Dollar Tree or Dollarama, and you have a little bit, I think always a little bit bigger pieces of wood. Here they are a little bit of the smaller sizes, but we have to do with it. And this was a package for $2.90 if I am correct, so I hope in this, soon in the future I can get a little bit more of the bigger ones. But we are going to try to make a farmhouse home from Tumbling Tower Blocks. So I have already a couple of my blocks on my table. What we're going to do first, we're going to make a square from 3 pieces each. So first we're going to make 4 pieces from 3 blocks. So I show you in a moment. I do as fast as I can. At least I'm trying. My fast is probably not your fast. So you see, we are going to make 4 of these pieces. So you see, we have already 4 pieces with 3 blocks. And of course, if you have bigger blocks, then maybe you should choose for 2. But I have a little bit of the smaller ones. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make a square. Just do it this way, and we're going to glue this to each other so we get a nice square. At least if I can get it get it straight. You see already, this is the square. I'm going to glue this together. So then we're going to do the next step. So you see, we have 1 frame finished of our house. We are going to make again, taking our blocks, and we are going to make again 4 pieces with 3 blocks on each other. So a little bit the same like we did earlier, and later we are going to attach it a little bit different like we did with the first panel. So of course I'm going to make 4 of these blocks from 3 pieces, and then we're going to do the sides of our house. So if I figured out I need for 1 panel I need 3 of 3 blocks. So I'm going to glue both of them on each other to make a side of a house. So we will see if this will work or not. We are just hoping for the best. This is just a try, of course, also for me. So we will see if this will work out or not, and even if it will fit or not. I think that's the question. If everything will fit or not, we will see. This is one of the panels you see already, and we are going to place it on the sides. I'm going to make at least already 2 of them, and then we're going to place the sides on top of our frame. So you see, I have my bottom, I have 2 of the sides, and you see this is just 3 blocks, 3 blocks and 3 blocks. What I'm going to do, we are going to glue this on top of here, and this one on top on the other side. You see it then this way. I showed you. So this is how you're going to glue it. So I will glue it together, and then I show you again how it is attached to each other. Then it's a little bit easier for me to show you. So you see, I did the side panels on top of here on my frame of my bottom. You see here, this is very simple. You see here, this is our 3-piece we just glued on top of here. You have to squeeze it a little bit in, at least with the sizes I use for my blocks. I am going to turn around. I was just trying something out to get a frame inside of the frame. So I made 3 blocks again, and I did squeeze them inside of here. I show you that on this side. So I will do 3 very simple. Of course, I have to use my glue gun. It fell out of me. So I'm going to make 3 blocks again on top of each other. Just try to do it as neat as you can do, because then you can get them better inside. And immediately remove your glue, and I am already having so much glue. I am going to glue this one over here, and now we have a threesome. We are going to of course I have to work away my glue, and of course always when my camera is running it's one big mess with my glue, so sorry about that. So you see, I'm going to take this frame, and of course we are going to work this inside of here and just squeeze it a little bit down below and try to work a little bit with it. You see already, it doesn't even need some glue. You're just going to get it. I'm going to blind you, sorry. This way. You see, now we have both of the sides. We already have a frame. Now we need the frame inside of here. So you see a little, I placed my camera a little bit lower, but now you're almost on my placemat. But what I'm going to do, and what I did, you saw me already making this side. I also did this side with a little bit of glue and 3 blocks, but I did have to sand off a little bit of the third block because it was a little bit too big. So I did each side I did have to work a little bit with it and made it a little bit shorter. What we're going to do now, we're going to do the tops. Of course, we also need one over here. I'm going to do 3 blocks, and maybe I have to sand it because I had to here. I had to have to sand it also a little bit down. So look which measurement your blocks are. It's a little bit measuring out and trying things out. So I'm going to do the tops, and then we almost have the underside of our little house. Then we only need the top of our house, and that will be also a challenge. I am sure. And here you see already the frame of our house. Am I satisfied with it? No. No. This is totally not the way I wanted to go, because the blocks are I think some of them have a little bit bigger or smaller measurement. It looks the same, but if you measure really out, it always gives a little piece sometimes that it doesn't have the right size. But we are going to work with it, and maybe afterwards I will say it looks okay, but if I will do it again, I don't know. We will see. But this is a tryout. You never know how a DIY is turning out. So I'm going to now go to the top of the house, and I am going to use some blocks, and I'm going to use 3 of them for every piece. So 3 for this one, 3 for this one, and I'm going to make a couple of cuts in our little blocks. And I mean, I use one the normal size, and I'm going to do 2 on the sides, and from this side I'm going to cut out a piece, and from this side I'm going to cut out a piece, so you get a nice ending and a closure for your roof. So I'm going to sew it out, and then I show you exactly what I mean. So you see here I have 3 of the pieces for my roof, and I am really hoping that it will look okay. I am really have a hard head in it. So if it will work or not, we will see. This is just this can be a nail it or fail it, because I don't know how this will turn out. I'm going to glue this on top of the frame of our house, and then we are going to paint it. So you see already a little bit of the frame of our house. What I'm going to do, I'm going to work it off with some little blocks to make a little square before we're going to paint it. I'm going to do 1 block over here, and I'm going to glue a 1 block under here to give it a little bit more of a touch. I show you in a moment a little bit better, and then we're going to paint it in the white color. So you see already our house is this far, and I am ready to paint it. You see already I made 2 on the front side, and the left side I made 2 little extra blocks to give it a little bit more character. What I'm going to do right now, but you see already I have little pieces in between. It is so hard to get them really fitting, even if you measure it out right. It didn't work out the way I wanted to, but we hope at the end we still are happy how we turned out. So I'm going to get my white chalk paint, and I'm going to paint, of course, in the white chalk paint, but you can paint it in any color you like. And here you see already our house is in the white color. I show you a little bit this way. It's hard to get it on the camera because it's a little bit big. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to distress it again with the black and the brown. I will do this with a little music, so no one is bored when I'm going to do the distressing, because a lot of you already know how I distress my pieces. So I do it without music, so if you don't want to see it, just skip forward. here you see already our little house is distressed, and what we're going to do right now, I'm going to make some greenery for the front side and for the back side. I think I'm going to make a little wreath, but we will see. I will find some greenery and then I'll show you what we're going to make on top of here. So what I'm going to do, I took some wooden rounds. I have always a little different sizes of this little slices of wood. I always order on AliExpress. I took one of them and I'm going to use this as a center. What I'm going to do, I have here my greenery and I am going to make a little display on top of here, and then later on we can attach it to our house, and then I can remove it and do something else on top of it. If I glue it, I always make damage to my house. So we are going to try to glue this on top of our, and I am going to look for, if I think this is a little bit too long to have on my, and you see already this is much too long for on my thing, so I am going to cut them always a little bit shorter. So you see, I am going to cut a couple of them shorter, and then we're going to glue again on top of our little wooden slice, and we are going to make a total round. I'll show you in a moment how he's looking like. So you see already I have the base already on top of my slice, but you still see here are little pieces open, so I will fill that up also with the same greenery. So just go ahead and glue it in between, and then you see get a nice full side. So you see now I have a full kind of a wreath. It's not totally a wreath of course, but at least we are going to make a round. I'm going to take some lavender, and I used the white color. I did off some picks and I made them a little bit smaller, so I made 4 pieces in one every direction. One, I'm going to glue this, and in between we are going to do little pieces of lavender. So this is where we're going to make a little star. So you see we have already our lavender inside of here, and just do whatever you like. If you like another greenery, do whatever you think is right. It's just really great to use a nice little wooden slice to make your little display on top, so you can always change it by the season. So you just do a little bit sticky gum on here and you just stick it to your house. What I'm going to do, I also have 2 of this little greenery, and I am going to glue this also on top of here. I hope I get it a little bit in between. Of course, squeeze it in, and just this one on the other side. And again, squeeze it in and just lay it down so it will stick together. So you see, now you have a nice display, and I'm going to attach it to our house, and then I'll show you the finished result. And here you see the finished result from our wooden house we made from some tumbling tower blocks. I have to say I did better DIYs. This was really an adventure. This was a challenge, because you see already I did some lights on top of it, and for now I did a buxus ball under it, because we left the underside open. So I did a buxus ball. Of course, here you see also the little wreath we just made. I can stick it also on the front. So I don't know yet what I like better, but the house is finished, and at the end I think he looks very cute in my decor. But like I said, this is not my best one, because the blocks were not always even. So if you want to make this DIY, please be careful and watch if you have the blocks the same measurement they all have, because or else you won't get the house straight. So, but for now, I think he turned out okay. I am so happy you did this DIY together with me, and we did it together. And of course, let me know in the comments if I failed it or nailed it. So thank you for being here with me, and I hope to see you in our next DIY. For this DIY, we need a couple of the stacking blocks, and of course, I hope you can find them very cheap, maybe in a thrift store or something else, or maybe order them online, but try to get as cheap as you can. Of course, we need a little piece of old wood. You see already I have a little carve already inside of here. So this is really an old piece I found in my garage. So just go ahead and look for one of your own, because we are going to try to make a little tray for in my kitchen. So, and of course you can use it anywhere. You can use it in your kitchen, you in your living room, but we are going to try to make a farmhouse little tray. So you see already I take my little piece of wood. What I'm going to try is going to make a bottom with my stack blocks. And of course I have to get my stack blocks open. First, I should have done that earlier. So, but I'm going to try to do it as fast as I can. But most of the time when my camera is running, it doesn't go very fast. So I'm sorry, you see. And yes, we got it open. It's only a simple plastic, but I don't know how I can do so long on it. So I'm going to measure out how much I'm going to need to make a little bottom from our piece we need. Of course, I have to look how we are coming out, because I am correct. I am not coming quite the greatest out. You see already, this is a little bit what I mean. So maybe we're going to try to do it this way. We can lean it over a little bit and we just have to work with it. You see already, this is also not fitting. I am going to puzzle it a little bit and then I show you how it will look like the bottom. So you see already, I figured it out. This is the pattern we are going to use. Just a couple of them this way, two of them this way, and of course then this way, and again this. And now they are fitting totally over my little old piece of wood. So I will glue everything together and then I show you my bottom. And you see already, this is the bottom of our little tray already, and I will turn it around and you see already I did it this time with some Mod Podge. I will place some filts over here so it won't scratch my my furniture. So I'm going to do some filts around it, and you see I did it leave a little bit over my board, because or else you would see the board, and I don't like that you see the board. I use some Mod Podge. I was planning to do it with some glue from a glue gun, but I think the Mod Podge works a lot better. So we are going to make a sides around, and then we're going to try to get some handles on top of here. So now we are going to work with the side, and I'm going to do place it one layer, but of course you can do it this way, you can pull it up, but I am going to do it flat, at least, yeah, I think you call it flat. So again, I'm just doing some Mod Podge over it and just gluing it on top of our little place, and of course we are going to go all the way around. So you see already we made our sides, and this is working perfect with my Mod Podge. I can nothing else say, because it is really working very nice. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make the handles, but I want to make them a little bit as small as I can. So I will place, I think, one this way. I show you in a moment how I really did, and then three this way, so we get a nice small handle. So, but I will have to figure out a little bit and then I show you. So it was a little bit of a puzzle to get my handle, because first the Mod Podge was not working for this simple, when you have a little space you can glue together, because this one didn't stick, at least not with me. So I did have to use my glue gun for this 3. So I did make 3 pieces together, and I made 2 little pieces, of course, on top of each other. So I made 2 over here and 2 over here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue these 2 over here, and I'm going to do this one in the middle so we get a nice handle. But first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this on top of here and this one on top of here, so we have already our handle before we are gluing it on our tray. So you see, our handles are finished, and it was a little bit of a challenge because the blocks are not every block is not the same size. Most of them are, but sometimes there are a little bit difference in. So it is a little bit playing around with to get the handles a little bit the same length. So I did my best. So I'm going to glue this on top of here, and then we are going to do our little tray with some white chalk paint. So you see already our little tray has its first coat with the white chalk paint. I will give it a second coat, but for now I take you to my computer and we're going to make a little print for in the middle of our tray. So here you see already the print we just made. I did them a little bit with the brown, a little bit rustic brown color, and I did them in the totally black. So I am cutting both of them out, and then I will see which one is fitting more. But before I'm going to do that, I'm going to take my text markers, my black one and my brown one, and I'm going to distress my tray because I want to give it a little bit of an old vintage look. So I'm going to distress it, and you know already, I think a lot of people who watch us already for a long time knows already how we're going to stress it. I always start with my black marker, and I'm going to mostly going around the sides, just make little accents on top of here. It's not a rule how to do it. Just do a little bit how you're feeling, and what is looking right for your decor. And of course, always try to keep your marker a little bit flat, so you don't get big stripes in once, so you can rule it a little bit better, so there won't be too much on your tray. So I'm going to do the whole tray, and then I show you. So you see already I did the distressing with the black color. Now I'm going to take my brown marker, but of course you can use a little bit of a rustic color more. I always use a little bit of the not really dark brown, but a little lighter than the dark brown. And I'm going to go over the black pieces, just go make little accents with the brown. So not a lot, so little pieces, so it looks a little bit more like rust. I will do the whole tray, and then I show you also from this the result. So you see already, now I also have the brown color with it, and of course you can use also some furniture wax if you want to make it a little bit more rustic even. What I'm going to do right now, like I told you earlier, I'm going to cut out both of them, and then we're going to look which one is looking better inside of our tray, and then we're going to Mod Podge it. So you see already I have here the brown one. I am really loving already the brown one, but also loving the black one. So I'm really debating which one I will choose. Of course, both of them you will find in our free printable. So you can also make one little tray for yourself with this printable. Of course, I'm going to Mod Podge it on top of here, and then we're going to let it dry. And here you see already the final result of our cute little tumbling blocks tray, and I am really happy how it turned out, especially this distressing. I really loved it. Looks a lot older, at least I think so. So I hope you just enjoyed doing this DIY together with me, and I just hope, like always, you got a lot of inspiration for it to make one of your own. So we see you next time in our next DIY.
Today I'm going to make a lantern out of these. These are, well, Jenga blocks, to be honest. from a web shop because the Action where Dyanne and I bought them, where is the opening? Yeah, doesn't sell them anymore, unfortunately. So Dyanne found a website where they are still available. And now I have quite some because we need a lot of these to make a really cute farmhouse wooden lantern. And these are really annoying to remove because they put some really crappy plastic foil. I'm going to get a knife and then I'm going to unpack them. You will also need a glue gun. I have mine here. And yeah, after I unwrap everything, I'm going to measure how everything should be. And then we can start crafting. That are a lot of blocks. Now, let me move it aside. Because I want to measure how much I need. Or how much I can make by building. Just like making yourself a tower. I'm back here. I got a phone call and then the camera just flipped. This is exactly what I was looking for. There are 2, 4, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row. And that is just enough to place 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these. There. Okay, I think I'm going to shall assemble the whole thing maybe on cardboard is a good idea. First, glue all this together, and then I'll be using cardboard in the same size just as this square here, maybe without the corners, but that is a bit difficult to do. So I'm going to warm up this one here, and then let's start gluing this all together. Just a little bit of glue. You can also use Mod Podge if you want to do that, or other parts of glue that you'd like to use, but I like to use my glue gun. I'll be back when this whole thing is assembled. Okay, I assembled this big row. I'm going to do the same with the other one, and then I'm going to just put glue in there and then squeeze everything together and then assemble the corner blocks. The base is there. Look, I tried to make everything as straight and, well, as smooth as possible. By pressing it upon the surface of the table. The glue doesn't get that hot and there's no glue upon the table. But that is a little bit flatter than this crafting mat here. Now what I want to do is just draw a silhouette of this lantern and then just apply a little bit of cardboard. Very thin cardboard, but it's just to make it more secure. Okay, what a shame I couldn't find myself a suitable piece of cardboard, but then we do it without because it's more than good. Okay, time to stack it up. I'm going to stack up blocks there. I have no idea how high I want it to be. So I'm just going to put blocks on top and keep repeating it to see what I think that looks great. So let's start building. Okay, the stacking is done. I put 4 on top of each other and it still is pretty shadowproof that far. Okay, time to cover up the top section. That will be the same just as the bottom section, just the same way and that it should fit perfectly. Okay, the top section is partly done. Not everything is super straight. Here and there are a little bit of gaps, and I just use a lot of glue to fill it up and make the whole thing more secure. Now it's time to put blocks in there, and it might help for you to just put your creation upside down. Let me start here. That is the neatest corner. And just keep continuing like that. Okay, that was the last block, and now I have some sort of lantern idea with a lot of spider webs. Just get rid of that. And yeah, it isn't done super neatly. Sorry. And I really have no idea how that is possible, because I worked on a flat surface, or maybe I'm just a little bit too much of a perfectionist. I don't know. Anyway, let me see. I want to finish this off with some more blocks. I just turned it upside down, and now I have the super flat side on the top. Just a small tip. Okay, I'm going to put that away because I want to make some sort of square idea with blocks. Let's just start gluing right away. Try to do it on the table to make it more straight. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can make just a single square or another shape. That is totally up to you. I think I'm going for the square one. You can do it just like that, or different by stacking, well, let's say 2 more on each side, just like that. And then of course you gotta turn it around and then put one in there and one in there to get a fence idea. And then you get this, and that works out fine on top here. So I'm going to glue it right away. Make it look more symmetrical. I'm going to try to align it like this. Can you see what I mean? Here and there, 2 blocks in here and there. The same space. I think it already starts looking like a fine lantern. I think I'm going to paint it black or use beeswax. This one can be turned off. We're not going to glue, at least not for the paint job. Okay, it is paint time. I have black chalkboard paint and beeswax. Most of the lantern I will do in the beeswax color, but only this square piece on top I will make that one black. I always use the same brushes, this one for the black paint and this one here for the beeswax. You can also see it, this one is colored black and this one has a brown color. Now I'm carefully going to work my way around, and hopefully I can get a smooth line. So let's start, and I'm not going to show you everything, only the beginning parts. This stuff is pretty thick. Now I'm going to start here. Let me stand up. In the center, I'll make this black too, otherwise it is impossible for me to paint the whole thing. And then work my way upwards. Here. And on the other side as well. To make sure everything gets the nice black color. Okay, I will show you when the black paint job is done. Okay, the top section is completely black. Now it is time to use the beeswax for the body of the lantern. Let me just dab my brush, the jar. Most of the times, oops, there comes out a whole lot of beeswax, so sometimes it is necessary to dab the stuff off. Now you can just start moving the brush around to apply the beeswax upon your project. Just like that. Hey, it is the next day and look how cute this thing turned out. It is completely dry, And I found myself a candle which I can put in, this one here, and I think that looks super cute and minimalistic. Now, of course, you can leave it this way, but I prefer a little bit more, warmth with greenery. So I'm going to take a look if I, oh, sorry, of course, I got shown on the other side of the lantern. If I can do something bohemian farmhousey like this, for example. These are IKEA plants, and I have a lot more of them. Something like that. I also have smaller parts that I can put around the candle, just like so. Really do whatever you want. You can also use eucalyptus like this, or if you want to, you can use flowers. And I thought it would also be a nice idea if I could decorate a little bit with ribbon. So I'm going to figure it out how I want to have it, and I will show you the result in the next shot. I'll be using the hot glue gun to assemble everything, and you might need a scissors because, look, there is a lot of, well, parts without leaves that you may want to cut off, but it is, of course, up to you. Okay, I'm just going to glue everything around here, and to finish it off, I will make a bow for you, and I'm going to show that after I added the greenery. What may help you during the assembling is that I add little dots of glue here and there. So I added in there, that is where the base is, here, and also here, and now just pour some glue upon the leaf here on the back part, and you can easily press it down, and even if you want to, you can glue it again here. So that are just a few tricks how to make the whole thing look more natural, and the greenery will arrange a lot better if you do this. Okay, my arrangement is finished. I hope that you can see what I made on the top section. And I like to have a bow or something like that in this corner, so you get a nice, well, arrangement actually. Okay, yeah, that one is put out. Okay, then let's take 12 centimeters of ribbon 2 times, and if that is too long, then oops, if it is too long, then just cut it shorter. But you can, of course, better make it too long than too small. Like that. I'm not going to make a bow, I'm going to make 2, well, ribbon tails actually. Just like that. Of course, don't forget the fishtail, or the dovetail, just as you name it, on both of the ends. And then you can just glue them on top of each other. Oh, that one isn't straight. In the right position where you want to have them. So just like that, or a little bit more like this, you can position the whole thing by yourself. Just do it the way as you like it. And there we are. I just covered up the glued section with a small flower. Okay, I decided to switch the needle green to these branches here. They have a little bit of a lighter color, and I think that looks more beautiful. And this is where the candle is. So just pulled off some hydrangeas and put them between the green, and then this is what you get. Let us know in the comment section what you think of this DIY.
For this next DIY, we need 66 of these little stacking blocks, and you can use any stacking blocks because you have them in different brands. So I am always using the cheaper ones. So this one is $2.99 for 54. So you need a little bit more than one package. So what I'm going to try to make is 2 different sizes of little candle holders. So we will see if this will succeed or not. So come along with me in this DIY. So you see already I have my blocks already laid down. What we're going to do, we are going to make 12 blocks from pieces of 3. So you see I just do 3 against each other, so we get squares from 3 blocks, and again a little bit over here, and just glue it together. And this way we are going to make 12 of this kind of blocks. I will make them for you first, and then we're going to do the next step. And I built already a little bit in a square. Of course, I have to glue it still, but this is what I mean. I'm just going to make a square, just like we did with our shadow boxes a couple of videos back. So I'm going to make like a kind of a shadow box, but it's not the same. This one stays open. So I'm going to glue this square together. Here you see already our square. This is the first one, and this is the biggest one, because we are going to make again a couple of the little blocks again, but this time this one is 12, 3 on each side. And for the next one we have 2 sides with 3, and we have 2 sides with 2. So it will be a little bit of a different shape, because we want to make 2 different candle holders. So I will glue again 12 from this. Only this one was 12 and the other one was 10. So we're going to make 10 little blocks from 3 pieces at a kind. And I made all my blocks, and I did for the top and the bottom we have 3, and for the sides we have 2. So I will glue this one all together, and then we're going to build again our frame for our candle holder. And of course, again, squeeze very hard, remove your glue. Be careful, because like I always say, I don't feel a lot of the glue, but probably you will. And this one will be with 3, this with 3, and this one with 2. You see already, I showed to you in a moment before I glue it together. This will be the shape. Of course, I have to lay down, do this one beside this. It is not glued together, but you see already this is a little bit the shape it will be. It's a little bit lower than the first one. So I will glue this together, and then we are ready to put it inside with some furniture wax. And this is the shape for our little one, and you see this are both of them. And now you get a nice set with 2 of the little frames. So what I'm going to do right now, first with these frames, because this is only the base, we are going to do some furniture wax on top of here. We don't have to do the bottom, we just do the rest, but only we leave the bottom we leave the bottom alone, because we are going to do some felt on top of it, because it won't scratch our furniture. So I will do the rest of it, and then we are going further with the next step. You see our candle holders are already in the furniture wax and are drying right now. What I took, and I forgot to tell you, that you need 2 old little glasses where you can put your tea lights in. Of course, you can get them at Dollar Tree, you can get them anywhere. This is a new one, at least he's also 25 cents, I believe, with us, and I already had a black one for a long time. What I'm going to do, I'm going to paint both of them in the white chalk paint, and of course this one will take a couple of more coats than the white one. So I will do this in the coats I need, and then we're going to do place a little frame on top of our candle holders, because this will be on top of the wooden frames. You see here I have wooden slices and I have them in different sizes. Of course I will use two bigger ones, and these are a little bit of the smaller ones. I also use two because I'm going to make a bigger one, and the smaller one I glue on top, so you get a little bit of a layer, and I will glue them later on top of here. But first I'm going to do two of them in the furniture wax, and I will two of them I will paint in the black color. So you see already I have two of the bigger black ones and two of the smaller brown ones in the furniture wax. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this one here inside of here, and I'm going to glue this one inside of here to get a nice little change of structure. So, and then we're going to glue this on top of our little stand. So you see, this is the smaller one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue one of them on top of here. I show it to you a little bit better. So in the middle, exactly in the middle, I'm going to glue this over here, and this one I'm going to do on the bigger one. So you see already our stands are already finished. I'm sorry, I have all my all white paint on my fingers, but you see the stands are already finished. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do my little white holders. I'm going to make and distress a little bit with the black color. So just go a little bit around the edges, and just like I always say, keep your permanent marker flat, so it gives not in one time a big line. So it always has to be little lines. And you see, this is what I mean. I'm going to do also the underside and a little bit over the holder itself. So I'm going to do the black and then I'll show you. So you see, now I have both of them. I did with a little bit of the black distressing, and I did it just there's no right way or wrong way. Now I'm taking my brown marker and I'm going to go over the lines a little bit where the black is. I make little pieces with the dark brown, so it gives a rustic feeling around the black, which supposed to look like if it is damaged. So just go ahead and do a little bit of the brown touches here and there. You see already I did also the brown touches on top of here, and of course you can distress it any way you like. This is always the way I do it, but you are free to do it any way you like. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to glue in both of them on top of our stands. So, and then I think I can show you with one little one already. So I'm going to glue this on top of here and I show you. I try at least a little bit this way. And this is how it will turn out. And probably I will do some greenery inside of here, but you can do anything you like in here. I thought I would do you can also do a candle, of course, and you can also do, instead of a candle, you can do some lights around the stand. It's always a nice change of yeah, fluffing up your decor. So I think I'm going to do some greenery inside of it. I have to see what I have in my stash, but I am already happy how the stand is turning out. And here you see the finished result of our two stands, and I am so happy how this two wooden stand turned out. And you just see I did some greenery inside of it and some yellow berries, and I love that you can make something easy with some easy tumbling tower blocks. So I hope you have some laying around and make two of your own, because they are so great to make and to have in your decor. I just hope you enjoyed doing this DIY together with me, and we hope to see you in our next DIY.